In the year 2028, one Big Mac will equal $1 million. From the Gospel of John McAfee. Bro, just learn to code. The Project Freedom Podcast.
What is up, fellas? Welcome to the Project Freedom Podcast, episode number 60. 60 already, man. Time fucking flies, gentlemen. Do you guys like my spotted ibex shirt that I got? It's not quite the same color as my dog, but hey, the best I could do. Guys, tonight I want to talk about how to deal with burnout. And the reason why I wanted to talk about that was because this is kind of like the time of year that I notice myself and a lot of other people start to get tired. We're all mammals, right? Unless you're a lizard person or an alien, then obviously you're not a mammal. But I'm at somewhere near like close to give or take 100 clients now in total. And not all of them are 100% active all the time. And I noticed the same thing with them too. And just like people in general. And we're going to talk about that right now. Cody Moose in the Hoos says C. C, Cody, C. Oi, this is Arthur. Oi. Harry Z goes, let's get after it, fellas. Yes, indeed. Hope you're doing good, Harry. Cha. Get it done, says Claybuster. VA got it done yesterday. I wasn't following along with it last night or whatever, Clay, because I had like I had some degenerate plays I had to make, but Greg B in the Clay, I don't think you're in the ELP Telegram chat, but Greg B, yeah, I'm sure you know him, comes in there at like 2 a.m. and was like, the flippening is about to happen. And I was like, dude, can I go to sleep? Or do I need to stay awake for this? I thought he was talking about the ETH flippening. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, there's no way that's going to happen right now. But he wasn't talking about that. He was talking about what you're talking about. Bring it on, says people taking their feet out the gas equals less competition for me. Yeah. Sometimes, but listen, you might, Mr. Bring It On, you might learn something tonight. You might learn something tonight. And that's coming from a person who it's hard to take their foot off the gas, to be honest with you. So I guess let's first just define what I mean by burnout. Obviously, well, it might not be obvious. So shame on me, Josh. Shame on myself for saying obvious. But if I were to define burnout for me, like what it means for me, it's like when I would do way too much work for way too long. And instead of just stopping to smell the roses, I'm like, nah, can't stop. Got to keep going. Which, honestly, is a necessity for the most part. But as I've gotten older, I've learned a thing or two about when I should like chill for a little bit. And I guess the biggest thing I could say about that before we actually get into it is, look, guys, if you're working really hard, good on you. And, you know, you should be, because honestly, most people don't work at all. No matter what they're doing, most people just don't try very hard. They get to a point where they're coasting, and then that's fine. And if that's what you want to do, if that's comfortable to you, kudos on you as well. Okay. But if you're a person who follows the self-improvement kind of like ideology, you know, just as well as I do, that you're not just going to like get to the result of you being better in X, Y, Z fashion. If you just, all right, I'm good here. I can chill for a little bit. So I guess, I mean, this shouldn't be like, I shouldn't have to like explain what burnout is, but hey, whatever. If you guys don't know what burnout really, 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 and I mean really is, it's not when you're like, hey, I'm just kind of feeling kind of tired. No, you'll know when you're burned out because you'll be getting 8 hours of sleep every night. for like a week straight, and you literally feel physical pain when you get out of bed. Your brain can't even process like normal things that would seem super easy to process to you, and you kind of have this like this kind of feeling of you literally hitting or running into a brick wall. And a lot of times in the past, I would be like, all right, so like here's this brick wall. Obviously, I had to go fucking through it somehow, right? Lo and behold, just being like fuck it and just like brute forcing yourself through that brick wall isn't always the best thing to do. Sometimes it is, though. Sometimes it is. So I'm gonna give you guys. It's November 2021. I'm gonna tell you guys, me scoozy, story about myself from last November until now. After I muted the mic and cough, I had a cookie and it went down the wrong throat, the wrong windpipe, fellas. All right, so let me go all the way back to last November. Last November was like a crazy time for me in a lot of different ways. The guys that know me personally know some of the stuff that was going on, but I was essentially just getting the reins on being a landlord and a property owner, which was a huge pain in the ass. I was about, let's see, May, June, July. It was about 6 months in of what is now known as developer direction, but before it was just like, hey, I'm just teaching people code. I didn't really have a name yet. And at the same time, I had a lot of personal stuff going on. Some crazy personal things that I probably would honestly get in trouble if I mentioned on air. Or who knows, dude, you can't even trust YouTube anymore these days. But the guys who know, y'all know. And I was like hitting this burnout phase like I kind of have been doing almost my entire life, almost every year. And I noticed, guys, it's kind of like cyclical. And it's cyclical not with just like me, but I notice it with like everyone. And it's not always like I'm not saying like, okay, it's November. Now everyone's just gonna get fucking burnt out and everyone's just gonna be laying on the floor. All right. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's obviously it's different cases for different people, different strokes for different folks, right? But I do notice that it's cyclical in nature with people. So someone will either go through a large period of time where they're doing a bunch of work and they're feeling like, yeah, I'm the man. Number one, baby. And then, you know, something minute happens or just a chain reaction of events happens to where they kind of like, quote unquote, fall off the horse. But at the time in November, I was kind of in that cyclical phase to where you could say I was like losing momentum. But this was also a time that I kind of had to, I believe that I had to just like not. All right. And when I say not, I mean just to literally keep going, even though I could tell it wasn't what I should have been doing. Tom RKBA says, good evening, gents, or D-gens, not gents. Good evening, Tom. Good to see you, man. Burnout is when it won't come up after too much porn. LOL, Tom. Wade Emery says, hello. What's up, Wade? Good to see you, man. Eli in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you, too. Older. Oof. Harry Sigo says, don't be afraid to be a landlord. Again, depends on the asset. Typically, I got you covered on the sign lines, man. No, it wasn't. I definitely came out of being a landlord way better than if I didn't do it. More ways than just one. Definitely something that was kind of like a stepping stool to my success. But as of right now, I don't really know if in the near future I want to. But well, I'll put it like this, and I don't want to sit and talk about real estate for long, but if and when, because it's only inevitability, if and when kind of like the rules around renting kind of go back to normal, then that's definitely something that I would for sure reconsider 100%. Jeffrey this Pitt says, power naps are key. That's why I take 12 naps a day. Yeah, dude, I'm still on the nap train for sure. Even if it's like a 10-minute nap, and we can talk about that too. But so back to my story, guys. Yeah. And I kind of got to the point where I was like literally fighting it. I was like fighting it. I was like, hey, I have to like just keep going. And I tried, and I just couldn't do it. Like I would try, and I just couldn't do it. And what I did was I ended up self-sabotaging several things. And I'm not saying it was intentional self-sabotage, but to the point to where I forced myself to be in isolation to where I was just in my house. Which, you know, I like being in my house. It's not really a bad thing, but being in my house and not just that, but just not talking to people. All right. And why is this important? Because if I would have done this gracefully myself at my own choice, if I could have just like not been so proud, then this burnout that kind of lasted up until the end of December, so almost like 8 weeks, probably could have been handled tastefully within 4 weeks time, 1 month, and I would have been 1 month more towards progression. All right. So what happened next is I spent a lot of time just like sitting and thinking and just doing basic stuff that I needed to get done to get by, which ended up being good for me because it allowed me a lot of time with my thoughts and a lot of time to just recharge myself, period. Whatever the fuck you want to, whatever recharge means to you. I mean, part of it was sleeping, but a lot of it was just like, you know, not training so hard in the gym, not which I don't train hard in the gym anymore, like honestly, guys, but not hyper fixating on these things that I want to get done and doing them perfectly, which that I have a huge problem with that. I always have like a hyper fixation on like getting things done to the fullest extent that they could be done. And this time just kind of let me do the things that I needed to do without giving too much effort. And I was just of the mindset of like, you know what? Fuck it. Like if this business that I started doesn't work out or doesn't work out as good as I thought it was, then, you know, I'll just recoup. The New Year's up, you know, recoup and try again. And then December came around. My good friend, Jonathan MLD, you guys may or may not know him, came and spent a week with me. And he was like, all right, hey, fuck ass, let's, I'm going to Miami. I'm taking you to Miami. And I was like, dude, God, no, please. Like, I'm sorry, I can't go. I have all these things I need to take care of. Blah, 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 blah. And he was like, it's too bad because I already bought your plane ticket. And if you don't go, I'm never talking to you again. You fuck. And I was like, damn, dude, that's kind of fucked. But all right, I'll go. And me and him went to Miami. At the time, I was dating a girl here in Miami. So, but she actually wasn't here in the city when I was coming to visit. And things just kind of like, just to make things simple, I just started slowly getting little wins again, like I used to get before. Little win here, little win there, little win everywhere. Wins all around. If this is Oprah Winfrey show, I'd say I get a win, you get a win, we all get a win. So I got some wins, and then the next thing I know, I was sitting in an airplane, and this is on my way back from Miami. Actually, I was on my way back from Vegas at this time. Yeah, I went to Vegas. This is about February. And I was sitting in an airport, and I had that like hyper fixation on the work that I wanted to do and needed to do again, but it wasn't painful, and it was pleasurable and enjoyable, and I was doing way better of a job at it than when I was trying too hard to do way good of a job at it. And that was obviously when Developer Direction was launched, or rather not really, but when the name Developer Direction came out. A couple other like really good, awesome, crazy wins that I had. And I was sitting in the fucking airport, and my plane was boarding, and I was just like on my laptop, like, I couldn't get up because I was like, dude, fuck this plane. I'm just going to finish this thing that I got to finish right here. And that's when I thought to myself, like, holy smokes, I'm not burnt out anymore. I feel like the same way that I used to feel. And I didn't even think about it at all. I didn't think about like, hey, what exactly did I do? This mic's annoying, guys. What exactly did I do to fix that like burnout issue that I had? It was just kind of fixed, right? And that led me to believe that this is kind of like an inevitable process that people just go through consistently. At least hyperachievers. All right, guys. At least hyperachievers are hardworking individuals. All right. Jeffrey knows how to live, says Tom Mark ABA. The rules are back to normal, except for NY. Yeah, and in New Orleans too, Harry. Burnout equals suffering from success. Yes. Yes, it does, my friend. Burnout usually only hits me when I realize where I'm working sucks. That's a big part of it too, man. That's a big part of it too. If you guys who don't know, I quit my day job not too long ago out of necessity because the other businesses that I had going on ended up being too profitable and taking up too much time to where I had to make a decision like, hey, am I going to like make these businesses to continue to grow? Or am I just going to let them be the way they are and just kind of like do them half-assed? And I was like, no, you know what? I made these things. I grew these things with the palm of my own hands. I'm going to make them even better because it's my responsibility. And I thought you think that when you're working for yourself, it's like it's easier, right? Because I guess technically I'm retired. I guess not retired from work period, but I'm a retired software engineer, and now I'm just like I'm everything. And you'd think that when you quote unquote retire, the life's easier, but it's not. There's actually like way more work, but it's not as bad when you're doing it for something that you care and believe in. So I do get that, Cody. Took like 2 months for me to recover from that burnout. Yep. It's about average, I'd say. Tom says, when I get burned out on tech, I just go where my mind has interest. It'll manifest as jumping from topic to topic almost randomly. That's a good point too, Tom. That's a good point too, because you have to be enjoying what you are doing, right? And if not, you have to make it enjoyable. Your boy Cliff, what's up, man? The solution to burnout is sleep. If only it was easy, Cliff. You're young, so you can still you can do that. But when you get older, you'll see. Harry Zucker says micro gains are what I constantly seek. Good, dude. Good. Raymond, the November thing makes sense. Seasonal affective disorder is a thing. I guess so, right? Don't a lot of people kind of suffer from like oh my gosh, it's the foul. Man, I slept for a week after I quit my job. I didn't realize how much work was dragging me down. Yeah. Yep. It'd be like that. It do be like that though, doesn't it? All right. So man, I really wish I could tell you guys some more like personal stories, but like I like some like oh man. Christian Soto knows some of these. So does Nick Sledge in the chat. Some of the stories I could say are not YouTube friendly. I really wish I could, because it would definitely make these streams more interesting. But whatever, I'd rather have a channel than not have it and have it banned. You're right about that though. Like Christian, it can definitely drag you down, right? It can definitely drag you down, like just work in general. Okay, so then it was February, and yeah, I just realized like, hey, I don't have this like giant drag on me. Like I'm not even thinking about the fact that, man, I'm fucking burnt out. Man, I'm fucking tired. I've just poof, gone. Completely cured, without me having to sit and try or to do something to fix it forcibly, right? It was just fixed on its own. So right now, I'm also taking care of a lot of like important things, and I have a large amount of responsibility. And to be honest, guys, since about beginning of the year until November, I have not stopped like once. If I have stopped, it was like a 1.5, maybe 2-day break max. And in those 2-day breaks, I was most likely just taking care of like personal administrative things. And that's fine. You have to be able to, make some sacrifices if you want to get forward in life. But now I'm noticing it's that time of year again, and it's time to kind of like reflect and maybe, just maybe, tastefully back off the gas just a little to where I know that I'll have the freedom and the ability to stop at that gas station down the road and refuel before the car just goes on empty. All right. Now, I have there's a parable that one of my good friends was telling me yesterday, and because I know he's experiencing burnout too. All right. And he's kind of one of those guys that's like me, like, hey, no, I can't stop. I'm not going to stop. Even if it fucking kills me, I'll just keep going. And he's like, hey, dude, so someone told me a story, and it was about two woodcutters or two lumberjacks. And they both worked the exact same amount of hours in the day, except one lumberjack at 10 o'clock would leave for an hour and then come back, while the other lumberjack was just still chopping wood. And every week they counted each other's piles of wood. And the guy that took a 1 hour break every day or left every day for an hour and came back consistently always had more wood. He was always harvesting more wood. And then one day, the dude that didn't want to take a break went up to the other lumberjack and was like, hey, dude, like we're working. I noticed that you're like working the same exact amount of time as me, except you leave for an hour every day, and then you come back. So you're actually like working technically less time than me, but you always are harvesting more wood. What is there something I'm not understanding? Is there something I'm missing here? And the lumberjack said, the other guy, the one who was harvesting more wood, said to him, every day when I leave for an hour, I take a break to sharpen my axe. Get it, guys? Get it? If the axe is sharpened, if you can take some extra time to sharpen the axe, isn't it going to be more efficient for cutting down the fucking trees? Duh. And if you think about yourself as the tool, as the axe, you have to sharpen yourself. You have to stay frosty. You have to stay on your feet. Because if not, eventually you're going to become so dull that it's going to take you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times the amount of swings to chop that tree down and or get that job done that you wanted done or accomplished than it would for a really sharp blade, right? So something to think about there with that. I think it's a good parable, and I think or the analogy itself, I think it gets the point across. And I never heard that until yesterday. So it's funny that is indeed, it's truthful to think about it, guys. It's truthful. Ashley Schaefer, BMW in the house says, good evening, Supercoders. Good evening, Mr. Schaefer, BMW. How are you, my friend? How are those, Mr. Schaefer? That's right. You're one of the guys that just joined Developer Direction, did you not? Tom RKBA says, there's nothing wrong with taking breaks. I'm currently burnt out on QA right now. I just keep checking my crypto every 5 minutes to see if I can rug my job. Yep, crypto's not helping. There's definitely been a couple nights where I was up a little way too late trying to catch some falling knives. But hey, it'd be like that too. Tom says, no, Josh, you need to stop for a full weekend. Just go somewhere and do something new. Not sure if I could go anywhere. Although I have a plan, right? I have a plan, Tom. Guys, I'm about to swipe this thing out of existence right here. I do have a plan. I wanted to go to the Great White Smoky Mountains, Tom, over, let's say Christmas to New Year's, and just get a cabin. And I was going to go ahead and just work out there for a week or two. Fuck it. Time to go to Max Velocity Tactical for 4-day class. Raymond says, to axe sharpening, important, but not urgent. So it often gets overlooked. Very, very fucking true, Raymond. Very fucking true. Fire emojis. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. Yes, indeed. When it's time for you to learn a lesson in life, it just kind of comes, right? It's kind of funny how that happens. Kind of funny how that works, guys. I like working in Bolivia. They would turn off the lights and make everyone leave for 90 minutes for siesta. It was great, and everyone came back ready to roll until the end of the day. Was that company policy, Claybuster, or was that just is that tradition? Is that company policy, or is that both? I don't get that part. Let me know. Come do a gun sight class here, Josh. I need to get backpacker first. And in order to get backpacker, I need to get a Florida. God damn, I need to get a Florida ID. God bless it. God bless it. Or I can get them to ship it to my house in New Orleans that I no longer own. So hopefully, like a degenerate street urchin wouldn't just take it. But hey, it's New Orleans, so I can almost guarantee you that they will. Yes, company policy. Okay, that sounds like a not so bad company policy, my friend. Not so bad, my friend. Not so bad. So, all right, what am I going to be doing right now for me to handle with this burnout? So, I already kind of started doing that. We had some of the guys from the group. Well, there's like 6 or 7 of us that fucking live here now, but so we're always here together. But some other guys from the group that don't live here came and visited this last weekend. And that was when I knew, when I went out to eat dinner with them at like 7:30, 8:30, whatever time it was. And I was like, God, I'm fucking whooped. And I was sitting there like falling asleep with the dinner, trying to be sociable and like meet people from the group. I was like, all right, I gotta go to sleep or do something. I gotta take a couple days to just chill. And then that night and the next 2 nights, I really just did the minimum that was required to get by. And just having a couple extra hours of sleep. Because honestly, guys, I usually my average sleep time is like 4 to 5 hours a night. Which is not good. Not good. Also, I noticed that I hardly eat anymore. Like last week, I was just so fucking busy and so stressed that I think I ate like probably 5 times or under, and I think only 3 of them were like real meals, which is not good. So since then, I'd started to eat more and obviously take more breaks and just kind of do what's needed to get done, minimum. But here's the key, guys. Here's what I've been doing and what I probably will be doing for the next 2 weeks. Because me and the boys, we have a new course coming out, I believe in the first 2 weeks of December. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, I have a bunch of shit I need to get done to prepare for it. And I'm not going to be able to do that unless I'm recovered, right? So here's what I'm going to do. Because I've noticed that this is kind of what I'm forced to do if I don't. And I'm just going to do it myself freely and willingly. I am essentially going to be taking a lot of time away from the computer, away from this thing right here. Just get the fuck out of there. I already have all my notifications pretty much off, except for a select few things that I think might be important. And I'm literally going to kind of isolate myself from people. That's it. A lot of it has to do with being sociable. And you guys know I'm a pretty sociable guy, at least externally I am. But it takes a lot of energy out of me, especially being in, a webinar for 2 to 5 hours a night, 3 nights a week, and then coming on here and then recording videos. By the way, guys, I have a new video series coming out. It's not live, but working on editing on that for some people that had asked for it. Christian Soto in the chat specifically. I'm going to be taking time away from people and kind of isolating myself to just get back what I need. And that's it. To me, that's the most important thing. And just not talking to people, just being alone in silence, I find to be really helpful. So if you guys are experiencing the same thing, I would recommend giving that a try and letting me know if it worked or not for you guys. Most companies did it. That's cool. Very cool. Being selfish on rest has been my favorite thing. Good. How are you alive with that few hours of sleep? I don't fucking know. I really don't know. I slept good the last 2 nights, so last 3 nights. You didn't eat? Not much that last week, man. I didn't really have literally didn't have time to. Hell yeah, man, computers are great, but they're toxic as fuck in regards to mental health. So I'll keep the computer. I'll just like what I'll literally do is I'll go lay on my bed or go lay on my sofa, and I'll log out of iMessage. I'll close Telegram. I'll shut my email down, and I'll wait till like start. I mean, like some things like my email, like I can't shut it down all day long, because I'll have just random people or clients email me, so like I just can't shut it down. But what I can do is I can keep the notifications turned off and the mail application closed, and I can just tell myself, all right, I'm going to check the mail at when I wake up at 12 o'clock and then before bed at night. And that's it. So that's part of the plan. Solo hobby, fishing, etc. Hey, I actually need to go get a fishing pole. I really do. I really do. Did you make Ryan's website? Nope. I made the young man who made his website, Mr. Harry Maguire Jr. I haven't seen it yet, but no. Ryan's younger brother, young Nick,
one of my prize students,
made that website. And actually, I believe Ryan literally just messaged me right now. Let's see. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be bragging. Provide purchase receipt from supplier. Or you guys can't see this. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Ryan. But no, I did not make the website. However, I taught the guy who made his website how to code. Boom. How about that? How about them nuts, baby? Hell, if you want to avoid people, just go read all the C libraries in Linux. Oh, dude, that makes me feel like I got to barf. How are you doing, guy? Raymond. Raymond's doing pretty good. I don't want to speak for Raymond, though. The more you know about technology, the less you want to use it. Yep. Behind as usual. Nah, Raymond, I wouldn't say you're super behind. Not super behind. But that's what I'm going to be doing, guys. That's like my solution to burnout. It's been hard for me to think of like topics for this podcast lately, and I know like you normally like throughout the year, 24/7, 365, my brain's like blah, 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 blah. I get all these like thoughts and ideas that I need to just like share with the world, and it's been like a little like meh doing that lately, and that's how I know like all right, maybe cool out for a little bit, maybe take some time to reflect and relax. And you know what else I did today, guys? I had some Whole Foods buffet, and it was mwah. It was quite good. And I also had some brown butter chocolate chip cookies. So I'm actually feeling like I'm cruising on a large dose of insulin right now, and I'm quite nappy. And I would indeed enjoy a nice lay in the bed. That's for sure. Max said, "Did you hear about Facebook's deleting all their face recognition data?" I don't. Yeah, I did. I don't trust the Zuck more than I can throw him. Look, dude, listen. People are starting to wake up. It's all this fahooey. Fahooey is what I said. People are starting to wake up. They're not happy about it, right? So, I mean, did they really, really delete it? Can they show us proof that they deleted it? I don't know, but if they did, good on them. Good on them, I guess. I mean, you could probably throw Zuck pretty far. I don't know. Not before like the all the 3-letter organizations and entities came and killed me trying to. After they uploaded it to the servers in Utah. Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know. You think? I mean, I guarantee there's at least one device on this planet that that those suckers are still stored in. So anyway, guys, Zuck is 5'7" RL. All right, dude. Fight me, Zuck. Fight me, Zuck. Let's do it. I'd totally beat him up. Zuck just sent it to the NSA for archiving. Can literally recognize your face from behind. Whew, that is not fun. Well, I believe Fabo isn't really a. All right, guys. if I wasn't using StreamYard right now and I was using OBS, I would have the soundboard right here, and you'd hear X-Files sound. I believe that Fabo is not really a technocratic, blah blah blah, whatever term you want to call it. It's not like a giant tech company. I think I think Fabo is, from its inception, a 3-letter organization. At least the Winklevi twins, they think so too. But hey, what would they know? They didn't make Facebook and have it stolen from them or anything. They were just two dudes. That's it. Sam saying yes in the Who's. Cody Moose in the Who's also says, I don't know, Zuck can chuck a spear. Can he? Facebook just put some funds on their MetaMask. Those funds aren't Seifu. Those funds aren't Seifu. Yeah, all major tech companies are. Yeah, well, I think that all major tech companies, they inevitably get like that, the injection of the 3-letter organizations into them, because it just makes sense to do that, right? Like, I mean, if you were a 3-letter organization chief executive officer or whatever, it would just make sense for you to just inject yourself on in there. But I think that Facebook, Fabo, brah. I think that Facebook actually was ground up, built by 3-letter organization, and I think there's a substantial amount of like evidence to support that. Of course, in a video game, right, and not in real life, because a 3-letter organizations would never, ever, guys, they would never, ever do something malicious like that. Yes. So, speaking of burnout, gentlemen, I am going to be ending this stream right fucking meow. But parting words for you guys. Don't forget the parable of the lumberjacks. And I will say also, we do have a new course that we're getting ready for, and it's going to be different from the other ones. It's going to be another thing that people ask for a lot, but I think I already spoiled the surprise on Monday. We're going to do another blockchain fundamentals, slightly different blockchain fundamentals
In 2022.
So I have a lot of work I need to get done for that. I need to get some ganache. If you guys know what I'm talking about, some ganache. I need to be writing some super codey smart contracts, and I got a lot of like just general stuff I got to do for it. Period. At the same time, got another business that me and the boys just started, which it's kind of like going in like a chillax period for a bit, which is good. That's what we wanted. So yeah. You guys don't know where to find me at EatLiveProgram Instagram, developerdirection.com, eatliveprogram.com, and I love you all, and I'm out. Later, taters.